All right, ready to get a little dirty today. We're diving deep into the world of sewerage cleaners.
Hmm.
Not the most glamorous gig, I'll grant you that, but way more interesting than it sounds, trust me. I've been checking out this RoleCatcher guide, and wow, there's a lot to unpack.
You know, what gets me is how we're talking about a job, well, most people don't even think about, right? But it's essential. And the tech involved, cutting edge stuff. It's like this whole hidden side of city life.
Yeah, right off the bat, RoleCatcher lays it out. Maintaining and cleaning those massive sewer systems, making sure, well, everything flows how it should. It all boils down to public health, sanitation. Pretty important stuff when you think about it.
Can't argue with that. Imagine if those systems went down, even for a little bit. We'd have some serious problems on our hands. It's the backbone of a healthy city, just hidden away.
Okay, so get that. We're not talking just plunging toilets here. RoleCatcher's got all this info about high-pressure water jets blasting away at blockages, these huge vacuum trucks sucking up debris. Sounds pretty heavy-duty.
Oh, yeah, nothing like what people probably picture. And what's really wild is how they're using robots down there now.
Robots, like in the sewers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just cool.
Right. But these aren't your kids' toys. We're talking serious machines, cameras, sensors, the works. They can scoot through pipes, spot blockages, even do some repairs, all remotely. Keeps workers safe, too, especially in those hazardous situations you sometimes get down there.
This guide's really opened my eyes to how important tech is in this line of work. But let's be real, it can't all be robots and lasers down there again.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher does mention the work conditions can be, how do I put this, less than ideal.
Yeah, gotta be honest, it's physically tough work. Cramped spaces, not the best smells, gotta be ready for anything down there. But hey, that's where a strong stomach and the right mindset come in handy.
So it takes a certain type of person to really thrive in this job. And speaking of thriving, check this out. The career progression is impressive. I was reading through the RoleCatcher guide. You can start as a trainee, move up to junior cleaner, then senior cleaner, even supervisor.
It's a real career path, not just going through the motions. You learn plumbing, hydraulics, how to use all that equipment, even project management as you move up.
Exactly. And get this, customer service is a huge part of the job. RoleCatcher says something like 64% of it involves customer service skills.
64%? Who knew?
Well, think about it. These guys, they're often the face of the whole system, right? Talking to residents, business owners, city officials. They got to explain stuff clearly, handle concerns, work together to figure things out.
It's like they're diplomats for the sewer system or something. Not just working in a bubble, right? They're connecting this whole hidden world with people up above.
Which, hey, speaking of hidden worlds, let's get back to the tech stuff for a minute. RoleCatcher mentioned these advanced imaging techniques, and that caught my eye. What's the deal with that?
Oh, it's really something. Imagine, like, high-tech cameras, but they're going through the sewer lines. Gives them a live view of what's going on in the pipes. They can spot cracks, blockages, any potential issues, all before they turn into major problems. It's like well, maybe not the best analogy, but like a colonoscopy for the city's plumbing.
Okay, that's an image I won't forget anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, no more just feeling around in the dark, hoping for the best.
Exactly. And it's more than cameras now. Sensors are becoming a big deal, too. They can put these sensors all over the system to keep an eye on things like flow rates and pressure changes.
Okay, so walk me through how that works.
So say the pressure suddenly drops, right? Could mean there's a blockage forming. Or if the flow spikes way up, could be a leak somewhere. Point is, by looking at this data, sewage cleaners can get ahead of the game. They can fix stuff before it gets really bad, prevents disruptions, saves everyone a ton of money in the long run. Working smarter, not harder, right? Technology's making that happen.
That is wild. This field is changing so fast, it's amazing. RoleCatcher really stresses how important it is to never stop learning, workshops, conferences, the whole 9 yards.
For sure, and it makes sense, doesn't it? With all the new tech coming out, you gotta keep up. These workshops, they aren't just about how to use the latest gadget, though. They cover safety stuff, environmental rules, best practices, you name it. Make sure these guys are ready for anything.
Sounds like more than just a job, honestly. It's a whole career, constantly pushing yourself, staying ahead of the curve. So, say someone's listening to us and they're thinking, hey, maybe this is for me.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell them? What should they be prepared for?
Well, first off, I'd say it's awesome that something in this deep dive sparked their interest, This line of work, it's so important, but nobody really thinks about it. And this RoleCatcher guide, that's the perfect place to start. Lays it all out there. It's not for everyone, that's for sure. But if you like solving problems, working with your hands, making a real difference in your community, could be an amazing path.
So that problem-solving part, that's key.
Absolutely. Remember those interview questions RoleCatcher mentioned? Like, how would you tackle a really tough blockage? That gets to the core of the job, you know? They're always assessing, thinking critically, finding solutions nobody else would.
It's like brawn, A&D, brains, both. So someone who's all about that problem solving, what kind of challenges are we talking about down there? And what advice would you give them?
Well, every day's different, right? That's part of the fun. One day it's a routine inspection. The next you're dealing with some massive blockage, tree roots growing into the pipes, grease and junk building up. You never know. Each situation's different. Got to use your head, your experience, even get a little creative sometimes.
Like a detective, but instead of crimes, it's sewer mysteries.
There you go. And as for advice, don't be scared to get your hands dirty. Literally. And never stop learning. This field's always changing, so if you can adapt, pick up new tech, that's how you make it.
You said it, every day a new adventure when you're down there in the pipes.
That's one way to look at it. But really, when you think about what we've talked about, this whole sewerage cleaner thing, it's amazing, right? Essential work, but with all this high-tech stuff, too.
I'm telling you, I've got a whole new appreciation for what these folks do. Next time, nature calls, I'll be thinking about them down there, keeping things moving. And speaking of which, this RoleCatcher guide is great. Really lays it all out. The careers, the skills you need, even what to expect in an interview.
Yeah, if anyone out there's even a little curious, I'd say check it out. Gets rid of a lot of those old ideas people have, shines a light on a job that's, well, we need it, that's for sure.
Totally agree. So we've cleared the air a bit about this job, no pun intended. But if our listeners take away one thing from this whole deep dive, what would you want it to be?
That's a good one. I guess it'd be that even the jobs nobody wants to think about, they can be pretty amazing, you know? And they matter. We take it for granted, the water going down, coming back clean, but there are people, skilled people, making sure that happens every day.
Well said. Makes you stop and think about all the stuff going on behind the scenes, right? All the stuff we never see that keeps the world running. And hey, who knows, maybe someone listening right now, this will be their future career. That's all the time we have for today, but keep those brains working, folks. There's always something new to discover, even in the most unexpected places.